Guy's about to lose all his followers.
And we have...
Okay, oh gee, now that is actually outrageous. That is absurd. You know me, Dylan, I'm ahead of the trends. I need to prove that my opinions are better than everyone else's. I've said it from the start. I'm not taking any attitude or cheek, and to prove I know better than anyone else, I'm going to bring on some experts of each of these genres, each of these fields. And I brought a gaming expert on with me today. Say hello.
What's popping?
In front of us both now, we have a very similar screen. Switch to the screen share here, you can see what Dylan's looking at. Very similar setup that he had to readjust it a bit so he could get Flex's logo on us. I'm hoping the one person who watches the video, probably Robert, will get back to us and tell us whose tier list is more on point. You can interpret it any way you want. If you want to rate each of these franchises based on their best game, based on their worst game, or based on their average, you can do either of them. It's completely up to you, and you can mix and match as long as you can justify it. As long as you can justify it, you can order it in any way you want. After we've put everything where we think it should go, we're going to cover it like this, and then we're going to go through one by one, back and forth, starting with the lowest tier, making our way up to the S tier.
I think it sounds pretty good.
Thank you, jerk me off some more. Away we go, let's start ordering stuff. Okay. I immediately know what's going at the bottom. I'm doing it the way we're going to reveal it. I'm going to do the bottom up.
I'm gonna pick out the stuff I really like first, I think.
Interesting, going for the positive perspective. I'm not about that life. So with B, C, D and E, I'm feeling like it's only relative to each other. So I don't want to say I'm being too insulting by putting something in the D tier. It's a mixture of games that I know we've both played and a mixture of franchises.
You see, I don't wanna annoy any boomers with some of my opinions on the older games.
Oh no.
I've replayed a few of these, and they don't hold up.
I feel like I might try and rate by potential. So even if it's struggling at the moment, I feel like some of these franchises have such mega potential. I'm going to spoil my thought process for one of them, because I'm looking here at Fallout and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, when it's good it's grand, but when it hits its low points recently, it really fucking hits rock bottom. I'll tell you what's one franchise that's easy to average out. Farcry, because they're all the fucking same.
Yeah, actually, like, I played Far Cry 3, and it was a decent game, but I never finished it, and I didn't get the hype.
Because I just placed it myself, I need to clarify something. Left 4 Dead 2, you can get all the maps for Left 4 Dead 1, so just count it all together. There's some I haven't played at all, but not at all, but I barely played, but I gotta give my respect to. Like, if you want to try to rate something completely objectively, like even if you're not as familiar with it, like I say, as long as you can justify it.
Yeah.
This is quite top heavy. I might move something down from A tier. I'm gonna flash back to this so they can see what game I moved down. And I think it's reasonable looking at it. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, interesting.
Like, I really like one of the games out of this series, and the rest of them are just hot garbage.
I wonder what we're gonna have the same. Don't say anything, because
I think we might have games that will have the same. I know we'll definitely have a few games in the same kind of rating.
So we'll start off with you show your bin, I'll show you mine. Out of pure pity, I'm gonna let you go first. Show us what's in the bin. Ooh,
Paladins.
Interesting.
So, I've played it.
Yeah.
It is scuffed Overwatch. For people who can't buy Overwatch. It feels like one of those generic shooters that comes out trying to replicate a perfectly good game.
You're not throwing shade at anyone specific here, are you? Declan. Here we are. The perfection manifested, and Ta-da!
Payday 2.
Never forgive, never forget. I wondered if this was going to cause contention.
I'll give you a hint. Payday is not in S to B tier for me.
I used to really enjoy it. This used to be a really good casual game for the boys. And then I've heard that it's better now, but I just can't. I actually can't get over it.
Yeah, I don't think it's like complete trash. Like it's still like a very playable game, but yeah, definitely ruined it with microtransactions.
Show me an E. That's still funny,
for E
right?
tier, we have Titanfall.
Ooh, okay.
Now Titanfall, I played the betas for both Titanfall games.
Yeah.
I remember Titanfall 2. The multiplayer component, honestly, it was okay. But the franchise has no impact on the industry whatsoever. It's kind of like a low-skilled, generic Call of Duty clone, but they went more mobility and then they added big robots in. Right, so we have Far Cry.
Oh, that is outrageous. Oh my god.
That is, because a lot of people like Far Cry, but honestly, it's a bit of a meme game, to be honest.
It's a bit of a meme game. You're...
Outside of Far Cry 2, like a lot of people love Far Cry 2, and then Far Cry 3 as well, a lot of people liked, but ever since Far Cry 3, the games have just been like jokes.
I don't think that it's not that they've gone downhill. I wouldn't say they've gone... So have you tried to rate on average with Far Cry?
Far Cry, yeah, I'm doing it more on average.
Interesting.
Because like Far Cry 2 and 3, like Far Cry 1, okay game, doesn't hold up that well today. 2 and 3, both good games and hold up reasonably well. But we have like Far Cry 4 and then Blood Dragon, then Far Cry 5. Is there a sixth one? I don't even know.
Interesting. Is there any more to reveal?
Yeah, there's one more.
Alright, go ahead. Ah, okay.
Same reasons as stated earlier.
That's reasonable.
And they're still updating it. I mean, they're still doing DLCs now because they ran out of money to do any more games. Shows you how well that all that plan worked for them.
See, this is what I like about the bin. Everything else is like subjective and in relation to each other, but the bin is making a statement. That's why I put Payday 2 in the bin. Literally no surprise.
Paladins, yeah.
It's not quite bin. I tried it a little bit. Oh yeah, I think Declan got me to try it a little bit. I've seen plenty of gameplay of it, but it's very unimpressive. This isn't that wild of a statement. Oh, interesting.
Nothing at all.
Nothing else in E tier.
Generous ratings.
I have tried to average it out, but some of them might not be so generous. Let's see what you've got in your D tier.
You want the D now?
I want the D now, thank you.
So, number 1, Battlefield. Right, and this is coming from someone who really likes Battlefield 4. And Battlefield 1 is a decent game, but the issue is they felt a bit stale, really. Like since like Battlefield 4, they've been a bit samey.
Are we saying that like D is below average?
D is below average. Like the franchise now has gone below average.
Yeah.
Like Battlefield 4, you can play it today, you can hop on a community server, and it's an absolute blast. Really good game.
Yeah, okay.
It's something that's fallen, like they hopped on the World War I hype train.
Guy's about to lose all his followers.
And we have Goldeneye.
Okay, now that is actually outrageous. That is absurd. That is ridiculous.
I've only put it here because it's the only game I've not played.
It's the first video and you're going to kill my channel.
No, this is literally because I haven't played it. I don't have anything against the game. It's just
Jeez. Put it in C tier then. Anyway, we all saw the video footage.
No, I'm doing this off of the new Wolfenstein.
Now you're upsetting me.
The new Wolfenstein games, and this is because like the Wolfenstein, was it New Order, the first one?
Yeah.
That was great. The new one was
brilliant.
Hot steaming garbage. Yeah, no, I liked the New Order. It wasn't like on the same tier as Doom was, New Doom, but it was a good fun little game. But they've not done, since the New Order, the games have been not very good quality, and also the tech, like they were awful performance on PC. I've rated this on the average of the new releases.
As a new release? Ooh, okay.
New Order's B tier, but the latest game is like a solid E tier.
Would you like my D, Dylan?
I would love it.
Fantastic.
I'm hoping it's a bit longer than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. First up, what did I put? Okay.
Titanfall?
I have so little opinion of Titanfall. Just reminding myself that, yeah, you put in E tier, so I've actually been more generous than you. Let's extend the D. Ooh.
Apex.
I thought you'd have more of a reaction to this, to be honest with you.
I think Apex is a solid game, but it's not like, as far as like the Battle Royale trio, the big Battle Royale, it's the worst one now.
The reason why, so I'd say it's a pretty average game, so you're thinking, oh, why didn't you put it in C tier? But then I think recently it's fallen off so much, and they've allegedly like had to, well, not allegedly, they've sponsored people to play it. They're finding it hard to stay relevant, and I feel like it's losing its presence a bit. And if it loses its presence, it loses its like player base, and that takes down the playability factor. Right.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Destiny from you yet.
Right. I'm ready.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. No.
Thought you were hiding Halo at the end there.
Oh, that'd be crazy. But yeah, show me your seat.
Right.
What the?
That might be.
You might have actually lost it. I don't want to do this with you anymore.
I have tried to average the.
I called you a games expert.
No, Left 4 Dead 2 is like, as a shooter game, it's like Counter-Strike sauce. As a zombie survival game, it's really good though.
What about the memories with the boys? What about the memories with the boys?
God, I've got to fucking do everything here, Jesus. No violence.
Was that Dylan?
And I have a lot of memories with the boys, but the player base of the game is not very healthy anymore. It's not had the staying power of the rest of the games. It's mainly like it's reliant on playing with friends, I think, to enjoy it fully. And I think that takes it away from a B tier.
No wonder you put it low then.
Apex.
Yeah.
Battle Royale, dead. The comp scene has all but disintegrated.
Okay.
So Doom 2016 was a really good game. And I know Doom's like classic, and it kind of like invented the FPS genre as we know it.
Quake as well, apparently, but I missed Quake out because I haven't played it at all.
I don't know. I don't think it held up that well. And Doom 2016, the campaign were fine. I didn't fully understand the hype behind it, to be honest, because
I think it was just refreshing.
It was refreshing because everything at the time was like space shooters, and we were going into the World War II shooters again, or World War I shooters rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was like World War I shooter age. And then Destiny.
Yeah.
Destiny 2, I've got a lot of time in that game. I enjoy it. I probably have like 300 hours maybe in Destiny 2 total, maybe even more. But it's not for everyone.
And what else is on there? Ooh, okay.
Overwatch, when it came out, really good. But the updates
not
to the
much has
game,
happened since.
Overwatch was A tier, solid A tier.
It hit so fucking hard.
It was like the most hyped game that year by far, and it's like probably the biggest like new IP to come out in like the last like 5 years. The updates to the game have been god awful, and then I moved to Goldeneye up here.
Oh, how did that get there? What do we have? Yeah. Basically, I haven't played it enough, but I gotta respect what I'm hearing about it. I'm hearing the new one's really good. I know 2016 was popping. That's not that outrageous to put it average tier, is it?
I don't think so. There's a lot of people who love the game, but it's the same for any game on this list. There's people who love Paladins, apparently. Like, I might have been a bit harsh with my like tiers. I could have maybe.
Because you're like trying to balance it.
Yeah,
I get that. So Far Cry, I love Far Cry 3. I haven't played Far Cry 2, but I love Far Cry 3. Not just because of the meme reasons. And not just because of VARs, but it really hooked me. And it's one of those games that when I first got into it, I could play for hours. But at the same time, it didn't have that much replayability for me because of that very reason. The same thing which hooked me in. And I haven't played the newer ones. So yeah, average. I think that's quite generous considering.
If I was rebalancing it, it might be a D tier.
Next up. Ooh, boo. Oh, Jesus. End of the channel. Before it's time.
Just roll credits.
I just haven't played it enough. That's it.
No,
that's
I
it.
get that.
I put it at average. I know for a lot of people it's probably a lot higher than that. What else have we got on C tier? Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Ooh,
Hear me
no. Ooh, this is a bit odd.
I
I'm a bit
love-
uncomfortable.
It was
I'm a bit
originally
uncomfortable.
in A tier, and TF2 is my most
And I
played
think I
game on
just saw-
Steam.
I just saw a
I'll
peek
admit
of
to
what's
it.
coming next.
Most played game on
Yeah.
Steam that I'll admit that I play. I really like it, but it's these past 2 years, and it's because I was there. I was there at the golden age of TF2.
Just reminding,
Twitch.tv/Aimireal for epic TF2 gameplay.
just before we move on, I'd like to remind the audience this was completely up to interpretation of how he rated it. He could have rated it on the golden era. Anyway, moving on, just to piss me off a little bit more, I've seen what's next.
I'm rating everything holistically, which is why Fallout is here, because Fallout New Vegas is really good.
It's alright, I thought it was something else. I take everything back. This is not a bad rating for Fallout. I thought it was something else.
You thought it was Bioshock.
I thought it was Bioshock. I was going to have a heart attack.
Right, Fallout
Yeah.
New Vegas. I love that game.
Gold.
Fallout 4, it was playable. Let's not talk about the MMO. And Fallout 3, honestly, you don't play Fallout 3, you play Tale of Two Wastelands, which loads the Fallout 3 map into New Vegas.
Fair, yeah.
If we,
To be
yeah,
honest,
obviously,
yeah.
if I'm rating it holistically. So, Modern Warfare, I like it. I like Black Ops and Black Ops 2. After Black Ops 2, they had a bit of a rough few years, but Modern Warfare is pretty good.
When it's banged, it's banged.
Zombies, called Zombies, I love. It's
Classic.
great.
Could have been
Great
a
fun.
separate icon.
You know, like as a whole experience, Call of Duty is actually a good franchise.
Yeah.
It's still around today for a reason. And
Ooh, genuinely a little bit surprised from you, of all people.
Borderlands 3 is not very good compared to Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 might even be like a
potentially
weak
yeah.
S tier or a good A tier, solid A.
Yeah.
I've played Borderlands 2 probably close to 20 times, full playthroughs. I could not do that with Borderlands 3. The humour is obviously very dated in Borderlands 2.
Because they write it when it's relevant and they don't think to update it 2 years later.
See, they didn't do that as much in Borderlands 3. There's no like timely memes, and Borderlands 1's humour was more like deadpan, kind of dark humour, which still works. But Borderlands 1's environments are so unvaried. But hey, it's a good game. You know, I love it. Probably one of my most played series ever. And that is all for the bees.
I thought like the personal connection, the nostalgia would bump a couple of things up there. I think I start off by paying my respects at the start of this tier. Let's have a look. Are you ready?
Go.
Yep.
Ooh,
I started off paying my respect. I haven't. I don't think I've played this. I've heard so much good things. So I had to give credit where it's due, even though I don't know much about it. And then I believe I did the same thing again. Yeah, I've only played it.
CS:GO.
Yeah, you got to respect it. It's such a massive franchise, both in terms of people just straight up playing it and its presence on YouTube. That if I'd have put it on average just because I've barely played it, I'd look like an absolute tool. And then some more actual personal choices. You put this in, what was it, D tier? D tier. I've gone above average, you've gone below, because I just love the New Order so much.
Yeah, no, New Order I think New Order was C tier, but it's since.
At the same time, this is a happy medium here, because I'm paying my respect to the older games. but it's mainly New Order for me, which has absolutely carried this franchise.
They brought it back from the dead, and then they killed it straight after.
And yeah, they got so complacent that it nearly ruined the franchise for me. I stopped playing it for a while. I believe there's one more on here.
Oh yeah.
You put it on C tier. Interesting.
I put it on C because of recent, well, not so like last few years of Overwatch support has been poor.
Shout out to my guy Devious. Me and him used to be Overwatch pros, and there's a bit of nostalgia to rating it higher. It started off as an absolute cracking game, maybe even I think you said the same thing, maybe even A tier, but
A tier when it came out. Yeah.
The lack of innovation to it is kind of, rubbed me the wrong way. But I'll tell you something, speaking of which, on Rule 34 alone,
it's S+. Can we have a Kuma tier list? Where we rate franchises based on their contribution to the Kuma lifestyle.
I'm going to flash back to this so they can see what game I moved down. And I think it's reasonable looking at it. Here's the big guns. Here's the A tier.
Right. This is where children become men.
Good, very good. Very, very good. Can't argue
One of
with
the most influential franchises, especially now with Half-Life Alyx. I've not played it because I don't have a room for a VR headset. But, I love the games, and the stopping power and the hype around it is amazing. And there's a reason, because Half-Life 2 was so far ahead of its time.
There's not much more you can say about it. You can't really make fun of it. Oh.
Big ups,
okay.
Rainbow Six. One of the best competitive shooters in the game right now. I've played a fair bit of it. I used to be gold ranked, maybe the one above that. Plat. Yeah, very good game. Very fun, very satisfying to play. I didn't have a lot of hope for Ubisoft, yet they've made a game that's actually good. CSGO? I never was big in CSGO, but again, Valorant, Riot Games' new game, gonna kill CSGO? No chance.
Yeah,
and that's it for A tier.
I've once again at this top level, I've had to pay my respects, and I've done a lot better job than you have, little man.
I totally understand why it's there. It deserves it.
I've actually played this one as well, so I actually did used to play it with my brother, so I gotta give credit where it's due on that one.
I see. I my first console was PlayStation.
I see how it went on to inspire a lot more as well, and you gotta give a credit to its contribution to the industry. And similar with the next one,
Half-Life. Yep.
Yeah, just pay my
very deserving of it.
Absolutely. I haven't played it as much as you, but you gotta recognise, swing for the king, you better not miss. What's next? Oh. Yeah. I've done a much better job than you with a game I thought you preferred, interestingly enough.
No, I really like it, but I'm critically observing the state of Borderlands and saying it's a good game, but I'm not.
Listen, Dylan, you know me, Borderlands 1.
D tier.
Yeah, Borderlands 3. Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2 is one of the best games of last decade.
There should be one more. Any guesses on what else is on A tier?
Fallout.
Cracking guess.
Huge brain.
He really is a big brain. I love Fallout New Vegas. Jesus, New Vegas has dragged up this franchise.
It's the only thing holding this franchise in any sort of relevancy.
I know a lot of people prefer Fallout 3. I think I've only played it a little bit when I got it free. It's very good, but I don't know why. New Vegas just holds a special place in my heart. The certain recent game we mentioned earlier.
The best part about the franchise's rankings is the people who develop it now, they're not responsible for the games which make the franchise good. Thanks, Todd.
Here we go. Here's the big one.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it this way because the top game for me is right here. So, Bioshock.
Oh, thank God. Jesus.
Bioshock is...
Imagine if it wasn't. I do know what's hidden. I do. Yeah, I just realised.
Bioshock 1 and 2 are fantastic games. Bioshock Infinite, I really like it. A lot of people don't like it as much as 1 or 2.
It was a
I enjoyed the
big
game a lot.
It was an ambitious game, and I loved what it tried to do.
Definitely one of the best, like, story-driven, RPG, FPS type games.
Yeah.
And to nobody's surprise,
yeah,
Halo. Halo 1 redefined the FPS genre completely. It created the health systems that we have in games these days, in a lot of games. It created matchmaking and parties in games. Halo 2 is amazing. Halo 3 is great. Reach is great. 4 is meh. And 5 I've not played, but let's not talk about 5.
It created your interest in FPS games, and for that it should be punished. Now it's time for the correct opinion. I've already sort of structured mine to be revealed from left to right, so starting off.
Team Fortress, yeah.
Team Fortress 2. I love this game.
Memories with the boys go. Yeah. It is S tier.
With most of the boys, even people we don't talk to anymore, we've played this game with.
Yeah, and the golden age of TF2 was something else. You had to be there.
Next up, I think another purely TF2. I love the gameplay. I love the memories. Very similar. I can't believe how low you ranked it. That is absurd. Yeah. I can't believe you would do that to the boys. It might honestly
be worth a B tier on my list if I was to revise it a little bit.
I have such fond memories of this game. I had to. That's why it's S for special. And of course, what could possibly be my number one choice? Are you actually trying to think? Did it really take?
No, I was.
And of
I
course,
thought he was going to reveal it straight away, so I was just quiet.
The GOAT.
It's
Bioshock.
Bioshock.
The absolute GOAT. My favourite game of all time, Bioshock 1. People say you play Bioshock 1 for the story, Bioshock 2 for the gameplay, and then I can't remember what they say about Infinite.
You play Infinite for Elizabeth.
But no, I love these games so much. Even people say Bioshock 2 story is not as good. I think it makes up for it in terms of just dragging you back into Rapture and just giving you a fun time to play with. The first game alone would be an S tier. Compared to all these games, Dylan, Bioshock 1 would still be in S tier. And then the other two might as well just be DLC for me.
I do want to add on to TF2 is the craft that Valve put into like the class system for that game. That is something else.
It's nearly time for us to go, I believe. But before we go, well, first off, we'd like you in the comments to tell us who's right. I know it's me, but who do you agree with more? Before we go, is there anything we missed out on?
So the Battlefront games, Star Wars Battlefront, the original Battlefront, solid A to S tier, really good. The new EA ones, maybe a B tier now because they've improved them.
Oof. I think we're gonna call it there. Thank you very much, Dylan.
Right, it's been good having me on. I'm